Today is Saturday, April 11th, 2026. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is the listener feedback show for Survivor 50, Week 7.
Week 7, 2 shows a week. We do a recap right after the episode airs. And then we start prepping for the listener feedback show on Saturday. That's where we hand the show over to the super fans, although sometimes you couldn't tell it because you and I get sidetracked by a question or an idea and then riff on that for a little bit. But really, this is for the other super fans as a place where they can come share their thoughts and their reactions to the season.
We're super fans too.
Yeah, we are.
Sometimes we have a little more information.
Well, they spark all kinds of ideas. I continue to be amazed at what we've been able to pull together here, and that we got this little community. I think for the most part we're unknown in the scheme of things, and I'm fine with that. It's small.
We never cared about that.
Yeah, we've always ordered on the thousands. It's never grown massive or anything like that. Our intent was never to make income or that kind of thing. We wanted to keep it small so we could keep control.
So we didn't have to advertise.
And I really like what it's grown into organically over the years. And so and the listener feedback show in particular is a special part of that, where we get to hear from the other fans, other theories, insights. I've gained a lot of knowledge, not only about the game and learned different ways to look at the game, but also about the world, because this is the beauty of this game, and part of the draws is all about human behavior and seeing how people deal with all these challenges that they're presented in these extreme situations. So we've got a great crew. I always look forward to it. I'm always just amazed at how many will show up and take part, because it's a non-trivial amount of effort to put together feedback, call in or write it up, or some people tell me, this is like the 10th time I've recorded this, and I'm thinking, I'm so appreciative of you putting that effort in. That's so great. And a lot of times I won't even have to edit anything in those, so that part's always really cool and refreshing. And so anyway, I just want to take a moment to celebrate the Survivor fans.
All of us.
Yes, all of us in that regard. So how many do we have this week?
26.
26. I was thinking it was going to be lower, but then it took off this morning.
You always say stuff
sometimes,
like that.
Well, it varies.
If we
the
don't
rate
get
of
as
input,
many by a certain day or a certain time,
you think,
say, it's going to be a light week this week.
It might drop off. But
and I'm like,
here comes
don't
26.
say that. You're going to...
It's not about
we'll have
jinxing.
a record week if you say that.
Yeah, no. Well, this is
Which is fine.
This is a few down from Blood Moon week 2 weeks back, but there's still a lot to
you realize
go over.
It's only 6 weeks.
Yes,
to wrap up.
We're beyond the halfway point in the season.
Yep, we are.
Officially. So
6 weeks to go, because I was looking at the picks and all that stuff. So.
And they confirmed the live finale this week. There was a press release on that saying on May 20th, 3 hours live finale.
Well, are you going to tell it up front that we tried to get confirmation on this week's?
I'm not, but you just did.
Oh, okay.
We were trying to find out if there was more than one being eliminated.
We said, hey, would you
And we got a clear no comment back, so.
Well, no, it's like, we're not going to confirm.
That's the same. Okay. That's no comment.
And we laughed. It's like, but we had to try. Come on.
We weren't asking for spoilers or anything. We're just seeing if we could get a jump on a possible change
it's like,
for JSFL.
For the fantasy league and all, we kind of like to know if there's more than one elimination. So
no comment.
We're not confirming.
Do with that what you will.
You didn't say it, what?
Joanne immediately read something into it, but I did not. So
well, because of the way she worded it, it's like we're not confirming.
Yes. Any other business we need to cover? before we get started?
I don't think so.
All right, first up, we got a call from Pete.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. This is Pete from Boston calling here. Oh, my Atlanta guys. Well, I'll say, as insane as last week's Moonlight or whatever folks wanted to call it there with the triple boot, which was indeed history, this episode, man, was really good, too. I did not see the winner, even though she was a huge target. Did not envision her going home tonight. But I'm going to let out a great big and man, guys, wow. Well, I'll say this. For Gina play her shot in the dark and basically not have a vote there, not vote, she must have saw the handwriting on the wall. And she knew she was a big target, hence being a winner, and that she was such a good strategic, social, and physical player. Look how close she was to winning immunity, almost being both the great Aussie and Superman Jones. So hats off there. It staggers me that Emily is still in there. Are these people going to get rid of her next week? Looks like next week's going to be a double boot. How in the world can you trust that woman? She spilled the beans about about who has an idol, who's with who has an advantage. I mean, Rizzo, and I'm not too crazy about Rizzo with things. Even he don't trust her either. I think the handwriting's going to be on the wall for Emily, especially that now who was her best friend from 45 is gone. Mind you, she was a part of getting rid of too. So it baffles me. But I love the Suri and Aussie alliance, and they're working with Rizzo. And to Rizzo's credit, I'm kind of glad he didn't want to work with Coach, because honestly, Coach is the next lunatic too. You can't trust him. He's calling Hubicki and Rick Devens the middle people. I'm like, why would you say that? He's lucky he didn't get voted out this episode too. Coach is definitely back to 1 point Coach from Tolkien Chiefs there when he had Tyson, JT, Fishback. This is the one that the coach that you love to hate, I guess. But it is still fun to watch, but horrible gameplay. Even Rizzo said that too, so I don't know. But hey, I'm glad G made the jury. She made it the farthest of any winner. Kyle got evacuated. Who knows how far he would have gone. So I think G got voted out the same day, but different era, of course, as Ethan did. Around the 5th time Ethan did back in All-Star. I think Ethan was voted out day 18, and G was voted out almost the same time, maybe a few days sooner. So check out these interviews. I'm willing to bet she knew the handwriting was on the wall. Oh, and also, guys, I'd be remiss. Great job by Steph on getting the steal a vote and telling Sari. But how much could you trust Sari? She told Rizzo, so better keep an eye on that. And also, can't believe Aubrey is alive. She didn't need a player idol, but she had to. So it was a good episode, guys. Can't wait for next week's double boot, it looks like. Take care. Woo.
Whoa. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, I'm still really surprised at how Sari is playing.
Mm-hmm.
She's playing differently.
Yes, absolutely.
And she's trusting Rizzo so much, but I don't know. That's a pretty good alliance. I really hope it holds up.
Seems like it, although something's clearly gotten to her in that next time on clip. You got both eyes full running tears.
Yes.
Unless she's putting on an act for something.
I don't know.
It seemed like genuine emotion.
There are people that can cry on cue, but that would
Oh,
not
yeah.
be me.
Yep. Definitely. Dee said that she absolutely knew that she was going. She also said that argument with Jonathan didn't happen early the way it was shown in the edit of the episode. It happened just before they went to tribal.
Ah.
Yeah. And let's see, she had just gotten back from the challenge and then went right into 50. And I think she was out on the challenge for 2 months. And then when she got back from 50, she was like training to climb Kilimanjaro, and she said her life was full. She hadn't even really thought about Survivor before this press kicked off. So
Yeah, she just moved on. She
Yeah.
had places to go, people to see.
It did not appear to have had any adverse effect on her, and she confirmed she had that, hey, I'm playing with house money kind of approach.
Yeah.
And so she took a lot more risks. And she said that she was kind of at odds with Jonathan and Coach and them from the get-go on original Kahlo. So they really couldn't get on the same page. And Charlie, that was when she started to be more concerned about Charlie working with her or not. There were some things that had happened. Like she had put together a fashion show for Kahlo, similar to what we saw in Vatu. And all the guys thought that, oh, that was her trying to get an advantage to complete. It was just something she did for fun to help raise Camilla's spirits, and because, it can be boring when they're out there.
She found something and
that she had an advantage that
get
required
them
her
do
to
it.
get the members of the tribe to dress in each other's
That's the thing about
clothes.
this season. It really does spark a lot of them looking
Yes.
for clues that aren't there.
I don't doubt that we even see half of all the suspicions and the different things that are going on.
Nope.
Yeah, good stuff. Thanks, Pete. Next up, we got a call from KimJ.
Hey, Joe and Stacy. It's KimJ from Nashville.
Yay, KimJ.
First to be back in a little bit, but I'm always listening. I am enjoying the season. The blood moon took a little bit out of me last week. With Kobe going home, I felt a little bit better knowing that he was probably going to get medevaced. But I really don't like the tiny tribe, so it was really nice breath of fresh air this week to have just like a really big tribal for once. I'm sure next week will be different. We've got to lose a lot of people. We've got 13 people left and 12 days in which to do it. So I just hope that my favorites aren't swap screwed or any of these kind of crazy twists that they've been adding. My USB this season is Coach, and I was so impressed with him in his preseason interview with Mike Bloom that I was like, okay, Coach 4.0. He's learned from his mistakes. I'm going to ride with him. Thought about changing him as my USB this past week, but really couldn't figure out somebody I felt stronger about. And if after this episode, of course, I really should have changed my USB. He's just gone back into just full Dragon Slayer crazy mode. I've actually gotten 2 vote offs in a row. Genevieve last week, Dee this week, which is probably the best I'll do all season. I have no idea this coming week. Part of me wants to lean towards Aubrey because it just doesn't feel like she has any friends. She's really not playing very well. My other thought is this the point they go after Coach? At some point they're going to go after Coach. So I'm kind of teetering between those two, but I'm definitely depending upon the Facebook page and feedback to get an inkling of what exactly to do. Which, by the way, with Aubrey, was she ever even a good player? Because this is the 3rd season now. I've really been underwhelmed with her play. And I'm looking back at Co-Wrong and I'm like, I'm not really so sure she was even good in that season either. If she was just a little lucky or unlucky, I don't know. What do you guys think? All right. I appreciate you guys always so much for what you do. Love the Facebook page and appreciate so much the admins that take care of things over there as well. Can't wait to hear what everybody else has to say.
What do you think?
I don't remember a lot of the good stuff. There may well be a lot of good play, but I'm not seeing it this season for sure. So.
Oh yeah, definitely not. And the one before this, she just fumbled really bad, running around telling everyone she was wanting to work with them, be their number one kind of thing, and then they all shared with each other, and she got busted.
Like, oops.
Yeah, I don't have that recollection of her either, KimJ. The thing that I remember is that she's the beneficiary of one of the great transformation edits, because she had a really rough start in Co-Wrong. She stumbled, she was crying, it was breaking her down. Sound familiar? And then she was able to turn it around and end up making it all the way to the end. And a lot of people thought that she was robbed because 1L Michelle is the one who beat her. Except I thought 1L Michelle did really well on the social game.
Yeah.
And you can see
me
Aubrey,
not so much.
Well, and you're factoring in other things. You watched her on the challenge.
Okay, well, against 1L Michelle, I can see Aubrey was awesome.
You're very biased against 1L Michelle.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that comes from watching other shows even added in.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. And I'm not disputing anything you're saying. I'm just on Co-Wrong. Michelle, came to learn.
They get there, they win, okie doke.
Came to learn had a a really significant social game. And they've always had trouble showing that in the edit.
Okay.
And it was easier to show the big cocoon to butterfly transformation Aubrey had that season. Good stuff. Thanks for that. Great to have you back, KimJ. Next up, we got a call from Rebecca.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. This is Rebecca calling from Northern California, where I'm making an amazing 3-course birthday meal for my friend. Miso, citrus glazed salmon, and coconut soup, and all sorts of wonderful things, because your girl's an amazing cook. Yeah, I am. But you know what she's not great at? Picking who's first on jury, yo. I really thought it was going to be Christian. Like, I really thought it was going to be Christian based on that he made that bad move a couple episodes ago. But here's the thing. Nobody's thinking about that anymore. I should have known it was going to be Dee. She's a winner. They weren't going to let her go again. I enjoyed the episode so much. I don't even mind that I lost my first save point. And I'm not first in the side challenge anymore. I know, it's so sad. I loved it anyway, and I love when it's not predictable. I was gonna write a haiku for Coach, but then I just didn't have the patience. Oh my God, Coach, please stop talking. He's so annoying. I'm gonna put him as my vote out for next week because I don't want Christian to go. I just thought that he might, but I don't want him to go. I want Coach to be gone. I love the dynamic between Rizzo and Ozzy and Sari. And who'd have thunk little baby Rizzo would be schooling old man Coach on, hey, chill out, man. Keep it together. Yeah, never meet your heroes. Is that what Stacy said? I think that's what Stacy said. Never meet your heroes. And Joanne said what was really so true. Somebody says you want to work with you? Just say, sure, no problem. Just like our boy Rizzo did. So I'm very impressed with his gameplay. I still won't call him Rizgod. I still call him Rizboy. Yeah, I thought it was a very good episode. I loved Stephanie's journey. She's a beast. That was cool. I love Sari totally pegging her as soon as she got back, like, come on, girl. Yeah, right. You didn't get an advantage. Look at you. It just so many wonderful personalities and so much going on. And I'm sorry, Dee. You played hard, you played good, but they weren't going to let a recent winner get through. And I still stand by, I don't think she was the best winner of the new era. I really think that was Rachel. I don't think if you have a great alliance and you just sail through and you have a guy like Austin that you can completely manipulate, I don't think that's winning. But I think winning and being the best is winning in opposition, not winning when it's easy. That's just my 2 cents. I hope everyone has an absolutely wonderful weekend, and congratulations to my friend Jeremiah. You are number 1 in the side challenge. Well deserved. You were right and I was wrong. Oh, I just want to say there's been chatter on the Facebook page where people are claiming to know spoilers and claiming it as fact and saying they have the insider information and it doesn't belong in our community. We, unlike Coach, are trying to play with honor, and we don't want spoilers. We don't want people bragging about knowing spoilers. We want to try to guess and just guess wrong if we don't get it right, because that's the fun of the game. So but please leave it up to deductive reasoning, listening to podcasts, and trying to figure out, may the best man win. That's all I got. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Joanne and Stacy.
All right. Thanks, Rebecca. Yeah, I totally agree with that. We don't want spoilers in any of that. And if anybody's having trouble with that or someone's oversharing, just talk to Jeremiah or Mike K, and they'll help get that straightened out there in the Facebook group, in the Survivor Fans, Podcast Fans Facebook group. Good deal. Thanks, Rebecca. Next up, we got a call from Ryan.
Hello, Joanne and Stacy. This is Ryan from Central Iowa calling in with my Week 7 feedback. Boy, another good week. I enjoyed it. My guess is this is probably on the scale this year, maybe an 8 out of 10. Stock up for me is Jonathan. I think Jonathan is playing a different game. He's got the strength, but he seems to be playing his game different. Now, did he kind of show himself as kind of a different type of player this week and maybe put more eyes on him? Maybe. But he's showing the ability to play the strategic game. I thought it was a great move, outing Dee in the middle of camp like that, and how he kind of got her going, knowing that she would start yelling loud and get people's attention. So it was kind of a domino effect for Dee. Stock down for me has got to be Coach. Another week of sloppy gameplay, even to the point where Rizzo is teaching him how to play the game. The person I'm going to be guessing is going out next week is probably Tiff. She's kind of been on the periphery of the game so far. The winner, I cannot believe I'm saying this. I just cannot believe I'm saying this. It's going to be Rizzo. I talked about how Rizzo is kind of like that annoying person you kind of date, and at first it's just an annoying jingle that's kind of in your head, and it's obnoxious jingle, and next thing you know, you're singing it on an elevator and you really like it all of a sudden. It's kind of what Rizzo's becoming for me this season. Last season, it looked as if he was playing against people that were just so much below his skill level. And so I feel like he, in this episode, kind of showed how he can kind of move around, especially trying to teach Coach how to play the game. And he's playing the game well. And so he's my winner pick right now. I can't believe I'm saying that. Rizzo got it stuck in my head, and I'm just starting to like him too much. One thing that has kind of bothered me again is that they did not show the pick'em. If you're going to do a tribe pick'em at a challenge like that, show it. Show who goes first, show who's last. I mean, there's got to be some emotion, reaction in those moments that would be great for the episode. Joanna Stacy, you said, did Dee damage her win by getting voted out like she did? And I'm going to say yes and no. No, because she's a winner. You won, and you can't take that away from you. But yes, because I think what we're seeing in these early vote outs is the winners in the 40s, specifically these last few years, are showing that, yeah, they won, and maybe they were a good winner, or it seemed, but it seemed like maybe they're weaker winners because they just didn't play against any really great people. Looking back to past seasons, past winners, and you had people playing against people that 2 or 3 or 4 people on a season that we remember and we like. So I just think we're seeing, with these Camilla getting voted out and now Dee getting voted out, I think we're seeing how weak these winners actually were, even if their win was maybe looked at as good in the moment. Thank you. And thanks for all you do. I look forward to what everyone else has to say. Your thoughts?
Excellent. Thanks, Ryan. Good job. Yeah, obviously, I concur. I talked about that a little bit in the recap when it comes to that. When she wasn't able to draw on pretty privilege like she did in her season or be insulated, that definitely made the game different. And she admittedly said she came at the game differently. So being a winner freed her up to try different things, and she took risks, and they didn't pay off this time. Thanks, Ryan. Next up, got an email from Becca in South Carolina.
Hi, Joanne, Stacy, and all the Survivor fans who enjoyed the show. Coach spoke in haiku, which was the inspiration for this week's feedback. Back from 3 tribals, who's still here after Blood Moon? This jury will speak. Jonathan and Dee poke the bear, make tempers flare, drawing attention. Stephanie's journey, my shoulder hurts just watching, but she's successful. Cerie sees right through, gets Steph to give her the truth, then tells her husband. The challenge highlights skills of boom operators and also Aussie. Challenge winners get Chinese picnic on the beach. No fortune cookie. Coach is losing it. Play with honor or don't play. Dragon Slayers back. A 7-4 split. Live tribal won't change the plan. Dee is going home. Next on Survivor, does Cerie cry tears of joy, or is she exiled? A twist is coming. Big consequences await in episode 8.
Oh, rhyming too.
And that's some haiku from Becca, currently in South Carolina. Very good.
Yes, very nice. A lot of 575 in that feedback. Good job. Enjoyed that, Becca. Next up. Oh, did you have something you were going to say?
No. No, I was just going to comment that you were sitting here counting as I was doing. That's seeing if I was going to do it right.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that at all.
Oh, you're trying to keep me on.
No.
It's funny.
I
Your
was just
fingers.
counting the haiku.
I was reading from the monitor, and your fingers were going up right in front of it.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway.
Thanks again, Becca.
Fun.
Next up, we got a call from Brandon.
Hey there, Joanna, Stacy. Brandon from Indiana here with my feedback on Survivor 50, the latest episode when Dee got voted out. Not super sad to see Dee go. I was one of those people that thought the winners should probably be targets, and I was surprised at how far she had made it. And when I saw her team up with Rizzo and potentially Suri, I thought, oh man, she's going to be around for a while. However, that didn't work out. JSFL, I'm struggling. I've only gotten the 2 vote outs from the week that we had 2 vote outs, and everything else has been a miss, but that's okay. I'm pushing on, and I don't have high hopes for myself. I didn't set the bar high in my expectations, so I can exceed those expectations very easily. As far as this episode, the reason that I wanted to make sure I got my feedback in time is because of the conversation at the challenge with the boom mic operators. I don't know if you remember, I called in a few seasons ago during this exact challenge and talked about how I thought maybe it was invented or inspired by Jeff and the other crew members watching the boom mic operators on set and how much endurance that had to have to hold those microphones up and keep them out of frame and all that information. So I thought it was just very interesting to see Rick Devens bring it up and then hear Jeff talk about it a lot. That was kind of cool. They didn't quite confirm my theory, but I thought it was interesting nonetheless. As far as who's going to go next week, I don't know. I feel like probably Tiff. It seems like the Men of Honor Alliance is going to be pretty obvious in their directions, but can Suri and Ozzy and Rizzo kind of turn things around? Can they switch things up? They do have a lot of power, but they also don't really have the numbers compared to the Honor, Integrity, Joe, Colby, well, not Colby anymore, but that sort of thing. Speaking of Colby, I was really bummed that he got voted out literally the week before I could have changed off of him and gotten 10 points for a potential new USB. Instead, I'll only have 5 because he was voted off. As far as Coach goes, I cannot wait to show this week's episode to my friends on Discord. We watch on Mondays after the show airs, and so I'm excited to show them because over the summer, I've been showing a lot of the seasons leading up to this season, and Coach was a big part of that. Coach and Ozzy, I tried to make sure we got all of their visions and all of their appearances in, except for Game Changers. I didn't get a chance to fit that one in. But the Discord group is not a big fan of Coach, but we are a fan of Coach antics, and we are a fan of watching other people trash talk Coach. So this week, watching people just kind of laugh at this man as he sits in the hammock by himself saying haikus and clapping to himself, it was kind of wild. I also thought it was really funny that initially, before the haikus started, he was just doing a confessional in camp, which is something that both he and Christian have done to great effect this season. And it was funny to see the other cast members reacting to that because it makes me wonder if they don't realize what they're doing, because it's like, did the cameras just become so normal to you that you don't realize that he's talking to the camera and not to himself, quote unquote? Anyways, I'm hoping that maybe we'll get an exciting tribal council, but I'm expecting a pretty straightforward Tiff vote out. Can't wait to hear what everyone else has to say.
All right. That seems to be a common theme. A lot of folks expecting Tiff to get catch the next target. Good deal. Thanks, Brandon. Next up, we got a call from Samantha.
This is Samantha, a.k.a. Survivor Rocks from Texas. Tiff knew to play it down, but don't seek revenge. It will come back to bite you. Suri is chill and calm. Take notes, Tiff. I've been saying Tiff is the strongest female out there and stronger than some of the men. I knew she could do it, and there wasn't any doubt about that. I loved her flashbacks of her seasons. Like I said, you still got it. I loved Dee during her season, and I still do. But we were rooting against her to lose the immunity challenge. I said Ozzy would take it, and I'm glad he did. And I'm waiting for him to break Boston Rob's record of 9. We were worried for Coach, but Dee needed to go while she lost the immunity challenge. I don't think it affects her Survivor legacy, at least not for me anyway. She was not going to win this and came full circle and can now experience being voted out and the first on the jury. Emily, zip it. We want her gone soon. It's not looking good for Tiff. Jonathan is impressing me the most, as he was coached by Boston Rob on playing the game. Dee went down with a fight, with a shot in the dark, rolling up unsafe once more. We really enjoyed this episode. Next time on Survivor, there are 2 snakes in the grass.
All right. Thanks,
but
Samantha.
who are they?
Yeah. If you had to guess.
Which ones are they?
If you had to guess, who do you think? Who would Joe be talking about?
He could be talking about Christian and Rick.
Yes, that was my first thought. Stephanie was talking to him before about how they're such good liars.
What if he was talking about Sari and Rizzo or Sari and Ozzy? Or are they at all tuned into that, do you think?
No, we haven't seen any evidence of it. I don't think he would. I don't think Joe would say that about Sari anyway, even if he suspected it. He wouldn't be that adamant against her. More to ponder. Thanks, Samantha. Next up, we got a call from Chris.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. Hey, Survivor fans. I'm really enjoying this season. I get so caught up into it, sometimes I forget to double check my picks. So I want to encourage everybody else to just forget about checking your picks. Because last week when I was joking about how I lost 2 safe points for 2 people that got voted off, well, lucky me. I got to lose points twice in a row. Y'all have a great week. This is a good season.
Indeed. Thanks, Chris.
Oh, yeah. That's tough when you don't make picks the week after. Mm-hmm. Something like that where you lost a bunch. That really hurts.
Yeah, I don't even think I considered
Stings
that.
a bit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because remember me saying there was somebody who only got like 1 point, and because they lost 3 save points because they had all 3 of the people saved.
Right.
And if you let that roll to the next week,
you're asking for a punch.
Yes, you are. So.
Good deal. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for sharing that. Next up, we got a call from Tara.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. Hi, Survivor friends. This is Tara in New York, checking in after episode 7. I haven't had a chance to listen to the recap or any exit press yet, but I wanted to get in some quick feedback, and I apologize if I repeat anything. I've just got to get working on some taxes, so thought I'd jump on this quickly and get moving on to that. Right off the bat, I've got to give big props to the producers, and if I could pull it off, I do one of Pete's boo-hoos, because they finally gave us all 14 players together strategizing and doing a tribal together. It was amazing. It was so much fun. It gave us so much drama. I really hope they take notice for the future. Next, what to say about Coach? I've never understood the big hype around Coach. I've never been a fan, but I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because in the preseason, he was talking about bowing down to Sari and learning about strategy to change up his game. But that has gone right out the window and the Dragon Slayer is back. Even worse, he can't even come up with his own original material now, apparently. I actually Googled it during the episode because I've only seen Fiji once, but yeah, the 4 Horsemen was already done. And then he brings up the Sword of Damocles, which I remembered Drew talking about in season 45. And in the secret scene, which is the one thing I was able to catch quickly after the episode, he actually dubs Jonathan the new Tidewalker. So I guess he's run out of fake historical nicknames at this point. And I can't believe he had the nerve to stand over a bunch of players and bark about how they'll never win season 50 if they play a dishonest game. Emily summed it up perfect. He is such a hypocrite. That said, I'm still glad he's on the season. He gives me someone to yell at, make fun of, and generally root against. I can't wait to see him go out in a spectacular takedown. Next, I just have to mention my USB Sari and the Wizard of Oz. Hilarious, by the way. We got to see how Sari continues to be subtly fabulous. All it took was a look and a giggle for her to break Steph and get her to reveal her advantage. Yeah. And as for Rizzo, everyone seems to want to work with him still. We even get to see him giving pointers to Coach with no backlash. Ozzy won immunity, which was fun to see. And for the most part, all 3 of them were able to sit back while the drama unfolded around them. So they all look to be in a pretty good spot right now. And if Rizzo brings Sari to the final 3 like he says, I will officially bow down to R-I-Z-G-O-D Riz God baby. As for next week, it looks like production's back up to their old tricks, so who knows. It's been fun to get some FaceTime with Tiff, and she's so funny when she's mad. I actually think she could be safe for a bit now that she's a lone wolf. I'm a bit worried for Christian and Rick, but what I really hope is to see somebody from Coach's Honor and Integrity Alliance go home. Thanks, Joanne and Stacy, for all you do, and can't wait to hear what everybody else has to say. Have a great week.
Excellent. Thanks, Tara.
I'm not 100% positive who's even in that alliance. We know Jonathan. But are
Joe.
they still good with Joe?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay.
Coach.
Well,
Stephanie.
Joe could be talking about Jonathan and Coach even.
That seems unlikely. I understand.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could be.
But I would assume Chrissy, maybe even Aubrey's still in there, but
Chrissy's in it. I don't know that Aubrey ever was since she was on
and
original
I don't know where
Vatu.
Tiffany goes anymore. So
Yeah, that's what I agree with Tara.
Or
There's a good
Emily,
chance
for that matter.
Tiffany gets a pass, that she gets to float now. With both Camilla and Dee gone, she doesn't have a connection other than Aubrey. So
yeah, I think they might switch off if she can not be too obvious about I'm gonna get Jonathan.
revenge, yeah. Yeah, she seemed to be doing good, holding all that in the confessional.
Yeah.
From what we saw.
We'll see.
I fully expect when they're told to pair up, based on what we saw in that challenge in the background from next time on, that she'll pair up with Aubrey. But what does that mean about the pairs?
Really? Yeah, I don't know. They have to do it before they even leave camp, though.
And that might be why Cerie's crying. Maybe she gets sent to exile as the odd person out that nobody picked. And maybe she gets in her feels when she's by herself over on exile.
Yeah, maybe it's a good time to just release.
Yeah, let it go.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's nothing significant. I'm trying to come up with some idea where it's not a big deal.
Yeah. I don't know that she would really actually care that much if she didn't have to do the challenge, as long as she was safe.
Mm-hmm.
So
and as long as
see.
she didn't cause someone else not to be able to be immune, or however they're going to work it.
Yeah. Or just a quiet place to have a moment.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay.
Thanks, Tara. Next up, got an email from Crystal in Santa Rosa, California. Hi there. Sorry I've been AWOL for a bit, but my dates for watching have been wonky this season. I will assure you I've been following the show and the podcast, so I'm still up to date. All right. Good job, Crystal. I have so many feelings, but I'll keep it to the current week we are in. Dee's unraveling was one of those things that would have been either missed or forgiven by not-so-savvy players, but it was her end for season 50. She was a bit mean at Tribal, but I think it was sheer panic. I truly thought Coach was going. I have him down again for next time.
Me too. I had him.
I'm done with Coach. I cannot imagine being in his orbit. As my favorite literary character Holden Caulfield would say, what a phony. Nice reference. Tiffany has every reason to be cross with Jonathan, but to the extent she is showing is a bit odd and over the top. Still, I'm glad she has something to say because she was nearly absent before all of this, and she's a spicy lady, so I like it. Hopefully Aubrey, who still seems a bit numb, will see she's spiraling and say something to calm her down. That would be interesting if Aubrey's able to help her. Regarding Jonathan, I would love for him to launch a defection from the remaining horsemen with their Squire Rizzo. He would be much safer with Rizzo and Cerie, and it would be much more fun to see him be a little naughty, since we're all sick of hearing about integrity and honesty in a game that is about being cutthroat and taking out everyone around you. Please just stop that. My USB Joe has been a bit of a dud this season, but I hung on to him because I still think the rest will go first. I keep hoping that we'll get confessionals that show he's plotting and planning, but it feels a bit meh to me at this point, and more of an under-the-radar performance thus far. Come on, Joe, bring it. Maybe one of the producers needs to say, do it for Eva. Still in love with Christian and his antics, and I think his peak will be when he gets rid of Emily. She's very smart and intuitive, but has thought bubble incontinence. That's great. The relationship with Rick is still going strong, but my spidey senses say that one of them will be withholding something from the other soon. I'd put money on Rick over Christian in a betrayal move, which will shatter my heart into a million pieces. I don't know. I think they might hold tight. Let's see. What I'm hoping for here is that Ozzy catches a glimpse of it and warns Christian. I do think we are seeing a better Ozzy. Age has provided the expected wisdom and patience that we never thought possible in younger Ozzy. Speaking of wisdom, that water well scene with Stephanie and Cerie was precious. I super regret not making Steph my USB. I'm really enjoying this season, and although it's been the hardest season for me to predict who's going next, it's been so much fun. Cheers. Cheers, Crystal. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Anderson.
Hey, Joanne and Stacey. This is Anderson from North Carolina calling with my feedback for the week that the jury starts. I forgot what week it is. I'm doing all right in Fried Challenge. My options was right out were either between Christian and D, and I said Christian because I thought Coach would piss off at Christian, which I guess he did. But, yeah, I'm kind of regretting sticking with Coach as my USD. Somehow a 7-4 plan worked. Next week, I think it'll be Christian, Devin, and Emily that gets voted out, if not Tiffany. But Rizzo is in a great spot. I don't hate him. My mom and grandma absolutely hate him. And my uncle, 2 cousins, and my aunt, we have a group chat that we talk about Survivor during the episode, and my aunt and uncle named their dog after Ozzy, so they're not really big Coach fans. So me, I'm a Coach fan, so I forgot to tell y'all this in the listener feedback for the On the Grill. My cousin went to the Super Bowl and got to meet Boston Rob. Yeah, he got like a picture with Boston Rob. It was really cool picture. I wish I could have been there to meet Boston Rob, but it was cool. And I heard a question last week in listener feedback. If I could watch one season of Survivor for the rest, watch no other seasons, I would personally pick either Survivor Token Teams, which is one of my favorites, or Survivor All-Stars, which is also a good season. But anyway, that's just my feedback on the episode, and thank you for everything y'all do, and bye.
All right, Anderson.
Both seasons are great.
Yeah, if you can't get enough Coach, Token Cheese is your go-to there.
Okay, he went heavy on the Dragon Slayer, and I was listening to Crystal, and I was like, oh yeah, the Dragon Slayer's back, and that is amazing. And I was really, in my head sitting here ragging on Coach, and then I thought, oh wait, I remember Coach the person, and I thought, oh well, okay, come on, it's different. It is different. The guy that, I remember talking to in person and, watching him play music and do, I was like, oh, okay.
We have seen a different side.
It's like, okay, yes, thank goodness I've seen a different side. So you have to remember.
There's some balance.
Ben Wade is different. This is his TV persona that he's, his fantasy that he's caught up in again.
Yeah, that's why he's got all these fans too.
Okay.
They love what he brings to the game.
Got it. Well, you either love it or you don't.
Yeah.
I doubt too many people are neutral when he goes into full-blown Dragon Slayer. And especially, I thought that was so weird that he knighted Jonathan with the name he just gave himself for the season.
Well, he's back to Dragon Slayer, so
Dragon Slayer.
it was free.
He's embracing it. That's what he's telling us.
This is the Coach 4.0. He
I want to embrace my Dragon Slayer.
Realized the error of his ways and thought, oh, that was really Jonathan. That's the Tidewalker.
Yeah, well, he's embraced it. And so,
deal.
okay, give the other name to Jonathan.
Yep. All right. Thanks again, Anderson. Next up, we got a call from Drew.
Hey, Joanne, Stacey. Hey, everyone. This is Drew. It was a good episode. I realized last week, as you said in your recap, why it felt so long. 3 tribal councils is already way more than the usual. Tribal council, I realize, is kind of exhausting. I'm sure for them, I mean, bad enough for us, but I can only imagine for them. But it's just a lot of back and forth mind games and talk show Jeff, which is exhausting and harrowing indeed. But then to have 3 of those back to back to back is just, I'm not surprised. It seemed forever and it was hard to get through. But back to kind of the usual this week, and it was a good episode. I'm just going to give the winner of the week right now to Stephanie because she's so bad at it, you guys. She's so cool. I never don't like Stephanie, you know what I mean? As many times as she comes on, some people, it seems like forever, and I was like, I can't even count. Like, how many times has Suri been on? I don't know, 7, 8, 9. But Stephanie, bring it on, girl. She's awesome. I told the kids, she's totally going to get this. She's totally going to get this. I know they're building up the drama of the shoulder, and I know that's a problem because I work with mobility issues and recovery, and I know that those kind of things can linger and re-trigger, and so I'm glad she got that. But the loser of the week, got to give it obviously to Coach. Like, that guy, I'm working with someone kind of that personality type right now, and so I kind of, it's a little close to home, but even before that, Coach was kind of insufferable, and it is true. I think Emily's right on as far as he said he's just a hypocrite, and he doesn't see it, but that's kind of one of the hallmarks of hypocrisy too. But just someone want to tell him that first round was, as far as a haiku, who wants to break it to him? Because I would have been so tempted on the spot, be like, count him up again, buddy, count him up. Unless you count betrayal as 2 or 3 syllables, I don't know. Anyway, he He got it together for the second round, and he was pretty happy with himself. He was like, hey, come tune in, kid, come tune in. I was like, my kids do that all the time. Hey, watch me. Are you watching? Don't stop watching. So I was really, it rarely happens this way, but at least not right away in the moment. But man, what a flip that would have been to get Coach out. It just would have been really awesome. I kind of think I had D safe. I can't really remember. Kind of a bummer. She dug her own grave. I think she saw the writing on the wall pretty early on, and she tried, but you can't fault her for trying. I like that. Tiffany's coming out of the woodwork for sure. Fewer players, more screen time available to kind of the players as they emerge more. Yeah, still enjoyable. The kids liked it, and yeah, can't wait to see what happens next. Everyone have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.
Outstanding. Thanks, Drew. Good job. Next up, we got a call from David.
Stephanie, I got an advantage. Sari, I know. I won't say a word. I promise you, I will not tell a soul. Sari to Rizzo. Stephanie's got to steal a vote. Hey, Joanna and Stacy, it's David in Pittsburgh. Well, Stacy, for once you have left me speechless. No, not anything shocking that you said, but the fact that you said everything that I would have said. I took notes. I had all these comments to talk about today, and you covered them all. From the puppy comment from the week before to Dee's mishaps this past episode, everything that Dee did, you covered. So let me see if I can find something else to talk about. One thing we don't talk about enough is the editing on this show and how masterful it is, like the exchange with Stephanie and Sari. But even last week with Genevieve saying, roll back the tape, because this is what I said, and they rolled back the tape. So this time, when I was watching whether Dee was going to be voted out or not, she was the person I picked to be voted out. The first 15 minutes, I thought, nope, she's not going to go, because they kept showing us everything that people kept saying, reasons why they didn't trust her. She's showing vulnerability to the other players. Probably the first time I've seen that in her 2 seasons, when she's saying, I don't know where to go from here. So, of course, I'm thinking, okay, I know how this is being edited. Things are going to switch around. And here we go with the immunity challenge, and 4 people left, and there's Dee Balance holding. And I thought, yep, she's going to win immunity. She's going to get her way out of this. And then, no, it didn't happen. And by the way, the new school players are not doing very well against the old school players. We've already seen 7 of the new school players being eliminated, and only 4 from the old school players. The good thing for me is that Christian kind of disappeared in this episode, and he's my USB, like yours, Stacy. So that gives me high hopes for him lasting longer. And with Sari crying in the previews, I'm thinking, oh no, is it Rizzo's turn to go, and she not going to be able to save him, or is it going to be Ozzy's turn to go? Anyway, once again, I'll reiterate that these episodes, an hour and a half or 2 hours, go by so fast. It's unbelievable. Loving this season. Know you guys are too. And I will talk to you next week. And I can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. Bye.
Excellent. Good job, David.
I was trying to figure out who other than Jenna and Colby were old school, but I guess he's including Mike and Angelina.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. They're pre-40.
I'd consider them in the middle, kind of, you know.
Yeah, we've had this discussion.
Yes, I know.
Yep.
But that's why I was like, huh? Who's he talking? But I got it.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, David. Up next, we have a call from Parker.
Hey, it's Parker from Indiana, and I personally loved this episode. I feel like it's exactly what I was saying. 14 people together is a lot more exciting than a small tribe. This is fun. This is fun. There's more chaos. There's more movement. There's more dynamics. This is what the people want to see. I'm sure that there's going to be a whole sphere of people online that are upset about the vote off. And you know what? Fair enough. For me, I won't say that Dee was a bad winner. She certainly played an amazing game in 45. and really steamrolled that season. However, I've never liked Dee. I think that she has a massive ego, and we saw that tonight, and we've seen that all throughout the season, which is why I picked her as my vote-off point. I felt like she was getting a little too big for her britches here. And yeah, I think this is what happens. You're able to steamroll on a cast where there's nobody that's really going to oppose you, except Jake, who's trying his best, but he's not able to get under her skin like how Jonathan was. I'm like, you're letting Jonathan get under your skin. What are you doing? Come on now. If you're going to sit there and be like, oh, this idiot, but then you're also letting him get you emotional, like, come on. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know. I've just never liked her. I was happy to see her go. And you know what, to be honest, if this merge turns into a New Era massacre, nobody will be happier than me. Like, I want to see these New Era chumps just get knocked down again and again and again. I don't care. Hey, even if that means I lose people that I actually like, that's okay. If I get a finale with all pre-40 players, that's like chef's kiss right there. Great episode overall. I mean, this was a good episode for Suri, good episode for Ozzy, good episode for Christian and Devins. They're so back. Good episode for Emily. Great episode for Jonathan. I really thought that coach was screwed here. I was sweating bullets because it looked like he was done. I think he might be done next week, which is probably why they decided to vote off Dee, because she can very well win immunity here in any of these challenges, whereas Coach, he's not going to do that. Oh, also a great episode for Stephanie. But yeah, it was super fun. I picked Christian as my new USB. I'm still unsure. I feel like he's getting the story of the decoy winner where he's just going to go out late game, but I felt the most confident about his chances, so I picked him. But yeah, no, this was such a fun one. I don't know. I'm scared to look online to see what people are saying, but I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a lot of fun. But yeah, that's all I got. I will see you all next time.
Excellent.
All right. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I saw a lot of positive responses to this episode and all the different dimensions that it delivered on.
Yep.
So it wasn't a massive blowback just because Dee got voted out. Thanks, Parker. Next up, we got an email from Mary in New Jersey.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. Hi, Survivor fans. It's Mary, better known as Scary from New Jersey. I thought this was a great episode, even though I broke my streak by choosing Christian as my vote out pick. I love him, but I thought the others may recognize the danger of the Christian-Devins bromance and go for one of them. His name wasn't even brought up, and I'm glad. Not so glad about seeing Dee go. She's one of my favorite winners of the new era, and she seems very self-aware in examining her own game. She makes mistakes, but at least she recognizes them.
Yep.
So unlike Coach, who doesn't seem to realize he stepped over the line from entertaining to annoying. I'm hoping this will be the week the Dragon Slayer meets his match. Maybe those in the middle can arrange that once we figure out who they are. I'm surprised that Rizzo is playing such a great game, and I even laughed when he was coaching Coach. I could see him going to the end. What I don't see is him turning on Suri, which may just be his downfall. I can't imagine a final tribal council where Suri loses to Rizzo, or almost anyone for that matter. My question this week, why did Dee think she had the numbers? And why didn't the middle vote with her? I can't imagine they're all enamored of Coach. Was Dee too much of a threat? I'm looking forward to Wednesday. Do you think the double consequences reference may indicate a double elimination? If so, I hope one of those sent packing as Coach. But I can't wait to hear what the other fans think. Thanks for all you do and for enhancing the Survivor experience for all of us. All right. Thank you, Mary. Let's see her questions. Why did Dee think? I don't think Dee thought she had the numbers. No. I think she was she ran over to Ozzy first when Ozzy's like, whoa, never been to a live tribal before.
Yeah, you don't run over.
Just said, I got the numbers.
You don't say I got the numbers. You don't say it that way if you do. So, I don't think so.
I think she said that was just a last-ditch effort.
Yeah, she was trying everything she could think of.
Yep, and good on her. I respect that.
And why didn't the middle vote with her? That people don't want to pull a big surprise at this point. They want to be part of a safe, easy vote. And when you see it coalescing around someone, a lot of people will tag on. You can't really see where the lines are in these early post-merge votes.
Well, and most of the middle players weren't going to get credit for that vote.
Yeah.
You know, if they're going to blindside coach, they kind of want to be orchestrating that move, you know, get some credit off it for the end game or something. So I think that comes into play with some of that too. Or they're going with their alliance and what they decided on.
Yeah, go back to what Christian said early on when they were voting off Jenna. It's like you want to come back and have everybody be okay. Everybody can be okay with D gone. Mm-hmm. You won't have extra. You can do this one and not have extra bad blood that you have to deal with repercussions when you get back to camp.
Well, the other thing is, like you said, you know, she and Jonathan kind of went off and went at it just before tribal council. And even though I think they'd already decided, they might have clinched things because they also want to keep some peace at camp. They don't want people that are... They don't want to have to listen to it all day. Well, still, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to... You know, there's only so much they can listen to of that over and over and over. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing else to do or talk about. They probably know everything about each other by now. And so, you know, sometimes I think it's just to have a little more peace.
Yes, yeah. This is the hard phase right here, this end stretch that they're going through heading towards 26.
Yeah, but that's all I got. I hope I answered some of your questions.
Or gave some ideas.
Yeah, whatever.
We don't know for sure. Thanks, Mary. Next up, we got a call from Shahin.
Hi, Joe and Stacey, North Survivor fans. Hope everyone's well and safe. I thought the episode was a pretty decent one once again, but that's not really what I want to talk about. I want to really delve into legacy because that's something that you, Stacey, had brought up. And I think legacy is really important. I think legacy is viewed differently from player to player, but I think more importantly, legacy looks different between players in seasons 1 to 40 and 40 and beyond. And I think the players that have played in seasons 1 to 40 in general probably have less stress about having to book in their legacy. Not because that they've gone ahead and done it or they've played the game and it gives them medals and it gives them that experience. But I feel like let's look at someone like Ozzy and Sari, for both of them. Let's put them in the same bucket. Players that have a lot of weight on them, a lot of perceived pressure on them to have to win to cement some sort of legacy. But they don't play like that. Like, I watch Sari at the moment, and it's like water off a duck's back for her. The way that she's able to still maneuver herself and almost like assimilate herself to the new style of play whilst merging in the old Sari. And like, she's transformed herself. I mean, if she wins this game of Survivor, it could be one of the greatest wins you'd ever see because just of how she's managed to change her game. I have to give big props to Ozzy. I mean, he is playing a very good game and a player who's playing a game where seasons past, which have panned out pretty bad for him in the last 1 or 2 that he's been in, have been different for him now. Like, you look at him now and he plays a much different game, I feel. And I think it's to do with the alliances that they've created, players 40 and beyond, Rizzo, for example. But then I look at someone like Coach and I'm like, yeah, I think he's just a lunatic. Like, I look at this guy and I'm like, he's just an actor. I can't buy him. You know, I thought that this was going to be maybe a different type of coach, and, you know, I just think, again, you look at someone that probably doesn't even care about legacy, or maybe cares about it too much, actually. But really, I wanted to quickly finish off with Dee and her legacy, and I don't know how she came into the season being perceived as the greatest winner of the 40s, when, you know, I think arguably Rachel Lamont was the best, and probably one of the best single season players I've ever watched, just because of how well she was able to play. I just don't know how that can be seriously mounted. Like, you compare Dee and you compare Rachel, I feel like Rachel had a much better CV coming out of her season, and I feel like Dee maybe thought that she had to prove something, and she came out of a season, I think she won a season where it was a really poor bunch of players, and she thought she was playing with puppies, but I think she ended up playing with wolves, and I think in the end it was the puppy that got by the wolves in the end. And yeah, I just don't think she was as good as a player as what was perceived. So that's legacy for you. It can get you in different ways. So thanks for what you do. Cheers, bye.
I really enjoyed that. Thanks, Shahin. Look at legacy. Yeah.
I don't think you should ever use what I would consider derogatory references, calling the men puppies and this and that. It kind of puts them down and just makes your ego seem out of control.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure,
it wasn't
a
good look,
for
sure.
For her too, but
yeah,
I do think that type of thing is what, for me, would not destroy an image or anything, but just go...
lessens it, takes some shine off.
Yeah, it takes a little shine.
Yeah, she said in her interviews, I think it was Dalton Ross asked her about if she had talked to Charlie at all, because she called Charlie the dumbest player in history of Survivor.
Yeah.
And they are not amicable. He told her that hurt, and he didn't just let it slide.
Well, she
so
should
they're
have
not
known.
Not in constant communication.
He doesn't always let things slide.
Yes, that's another way to look
obvious.
At it. Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, he wasn't willing to let her have that, run around calling him the dumbest player ever, and then let go of it. She says she's really good at letting go of that stuff, so she expects that in return, I guess.
So,
yeah.
Well, but, you know, like she had said with that when she was talking about Emily, and she's like, she said me 2 minutes, but I'm not going to listen to 2 minutes of... I just said, forget it. We're fine. I don't care. I just move on.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I love you. We're friends. Forget about it.
Yep.
It's part of the game, you know? So.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of your points there, Shahin. Good job. I like that analysis. Next up, we got a call from Kim.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy and Survivor fans. This is Kim from North Carolina. I think Rizzo's stock has risen the most since the beginning. He was level-headed in the face of coach behavior, and he's got an ally in Cerise, so if we think she's so strategic, you know, maybe it's time for me to get on board. And I do think she's strategic. Even though he's annoying, I do enjoy watching Coach. I'm enjoying watching Christian, and I really enjoyed Rizzo this week. This week, it really looked like Jonathan has truly the strategic game that he wants to have. We'll see what happens. Take care, everybody. I look forward to hearing what you have to say about it.
Great job. Thanks, Kim. Next up, we got a call from Pat.
All right.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. This is Pat from Missouri. Calling in. Hey, sorry I missed the past couple of weeks. I've had a ear problem going on. The last thing I felt like doing was talking on the phone. But I've been listening to everything, watching shows, loving it. My USB was gone. I picked Rizzo as my new USB.
What?
I know that's kind of crazy, but I think maybe he's getting pretty good at it. It seems like he's making alliances. He's with Cerise. So I think that could be good. It'll be fun to watch him play and to see how it turns out. I hated seeing Colby go, but I hated it because he was gone, but also that's going to be the last time that we see him on Survivor, and really going to miss him. I've always been a huge fan of Colby. Again, can't stand Coach. I can't wait for him to go. I'm kind of like Tiffany. I'm going to keep writing his name down until he's gone, as I'm ready for him to go. But I don't know if he's going to go this time. I think it may be Tiffany, but it's so hard to tell with so many people and dividing the teams up and this and that. What's going to happen, but y'all have a good week, and we'll see you next time.
You know what I've always thought? Thanks, Pat. I always thought that if Jeff ever decided, like, okay, I have things to do in life, it's time for me to retire, blah, 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 that he might hand it over to Colby.
Sure. Well, Colby's been a host.
Colby would be
top
the
shot.
perfect. Yeah, we watched that, and so I thought, though I thought he might give it to Parvati too,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. You know, Colby being the bro, who knows? We may see him sometime. But I don't think Jeff's even contemplating letting anything go at this point. But,
He's thinking about
but if
100.
it's Survivor 100, that's exactly.
Good deal. Thanks, Pat. Next up, we got a call from Joe.
Siri and the Wizard of Oz. Who else had the song, If I Only Had a Brain, playing in their head? So when they let a player give a confessional, where do they take them? Sound carries, especially at night. How is Tiff giving the confessional where she is screaming? Can others hear her? Hello, Joanne and Stacy and all Survivor fans. This is Joe from Huntersville. This was the first week that I've lost a safe pick. So I'm confused. Does Coach realize that he has to play the game to the end with these players and hopefully have them give him $1 million? Coach's haiku seems to be entertaining nobody but Coach. And as the Lord as my witness, I never knew that brownies were a staple of Chinese takeout. Well, in this episode, yes. Coach is pretty full of himself. I wonder if they're foreshadowing his ultimate demise. Christian, as a middle player, I think Stephanie's still vote could have some major impacts if she plays it correctly. I don't think it should be used in the next few tribal councils, as those should be the easy vote outs, such as Aubrey and Tiffany. So my feeling on who is playing the best game so far, it's Siri. Christian is also playing a good game, but I think they are on to him and will vote him out before the final 5. So what did you think about the 14-player tribal council? Talk about herding cats. Well, that's all I have. Joanne and Stacy, as always, thank you for all you do. This is Joe signing off.
Yeah, we love the 14-person tribal council, huh? Mm-hmm. I liked all that excitement, and I look forward to some more of those. I hope they don't do that thing they do where they split them off into tiny groups and have them vote people out, because that sometimes happens after one vote with the big group, that they'll break them back out again. Not looking forward to that if that's the case.
I was hoping too that wouldn't happen. I kind of think maybe it won't.
It's going to be more fun, more interesting when they're all there.
Now that they're down to, 13?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think they'll kind of keep it together now, I hope, anyway.
Yeah, I don't think you have to go too far. Granted, from everything I've heard, there's not a big area for them. That when they do those interviews, the confessionals, they're within that area. They're not traveling any significant distance for that.
I'm pretty sure they could hear her scream. And
well, maybe not though. Think about being on the surf crashing in at night. How far away do you have to get before it would drown someone out? You wouldn't be able to tell what was going on. I mean, walk down the beach a ways.
Or could you tell a scream from a laugh if the surf were?
Yeah, that would be an advantage of doing it near the water. Yeah, it just depends. Are you at low tide? Is there waves or not?
If they've got animals howling or something. But
yeah, I don't think you get much of that in Fiji.
They have the monkeys around.
Yeah, it's nothing like Nicaragua or Guatemala.
No howler monkeys.
You get the howlers. Yeah. Thanks, Joe. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Johnny.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy and Survivor fans. It's Johnny from Wisconsin calling here. Hey, you want to hear a joke? Coach. The fact that we got Rizzo to have to talk him down was one of my laugh out loud moments of the season. It is right up there alongside Dee having to rely on Emily to keep her secrets. Oh, so many great moments. One thing that surprised me about this episode was the fact that Tiffany caught so many votes. That didn't surprise one of our consistent callers, Rajmi. Every time she calls into the show, I take notice. She's had some calls that are way before everybody else, and even this one last week she called in, I think Tiffany might be. I'm like, what? Who guesses Tiffany's in danger? And she was totally right. Man, some people are just really good at predictions. And then for Christian's sake, not that I actually had any stake in him winning the game, but for his individual game, it would have been nice for Aubrey to keep the idol in her pocket, and she didn't really have to use it. She didn't get any votes. I can see why she wants to use it with the unpredictable chaos of 14, but you could have played it like a Rizzo in a way. You could have just said, hey, yeah, I'm totally playing it, and you could have pocketed it again. Easy. Hindsight 2020. As for me personally, my USB coming into the week was Stephanie. I switched it off of her and in favor of Sari. I don't think Sari's in danger for a while. I just think she's the better pick right now, but who knows what'll happen. I basically just picked Stephanie preseason because I thought she was the safest person to make it to the merge. I didn't really think she was going to win. I was like, why would you choose a winner with 24 options? That's just too many. Just pick the person you think is going to get to the merge. And I accomplished that. That being said, I was really proud of her individual hour-long challenge where it was tough on her shoulders. Oh, that's no joke. So already looking way ahead to Fire Making Challenge, we've got 3 people still on the cast that only lost their season due to fire making. That would be Devins, Sari, and Rizzo. I would love to see 2 of them fight at fire, just for the drama of one of them's going to have to relive the exact same experience a second time, and the other one gets redemption from the fire making that kicked them out of their season. That would be awesome to see. Yeah, that's about all I've got. Thank you guys so much for running this show and making a spectacular season even better with this podcast. See you guys next time.
I like that fire making thing, Johnny. Good idea.
Yeah, and thank you for that.
Yep.
One thing I want to say, too, real quick here was I really wonder if part of what is increasing Rizzo's confidence is not just working with Sri and Ozzy, but realizing that his idol coach, the rose-colored glasses are coming off, and he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm telling coach how to do this? Well, why am I looking to him? I'm playing better than he is, and that maybe boosted his confidence. You know, it was a little sad that, you know, he had to let go of that image, but, you know, the reality is what it is. And but it might have bumped up his confidence in his own game a little bit. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Dee said that was the thing that she regretted the most was telling about his idol. She went back and had a conversation with him and tried to apologize because she realized she might have really messed up his game by doing that. Mm-hmm. And she said that she was real concerned for him, too, because he wasn't feeling good and had been to see the doctor. Because he looked a little under the weather in this episode. There was a couple scenes of him where he didn't look all that great. And it's part of the back-to-back, I'm sure, taking its toll.
Oh, so she said that
Rizzo wasn't feeling well, and she
okay.
kicked him while he was down by, you know,
that's not good.
telling about the idol, and I guess that obviously concerned him about what that impact would be on his game and his opportunity to win like she did.
Yeah.
Good deal. I hope we do get to see that, Johnny. Thanks. Next up, got an email from Josh, the Plush Moose from Massachusetts. Dear Joanna and Stacy, it was another good episode, and it was great to see a single large tribal vote at the end. I'm excited to see what comes next, but I think I'm hoping in vain for Coach to go anytime soon. My other observations, the 4 horsemen of Fiji, been there, done that. Like the original group, it could be more like the 4 horses patooties. Yeah, the 4 knuckleheads. Yeah. Coach reminds me of the wizard in the movie The Wizard of Oz, a blustering, showy charlatan. Oh, what a wonderful phrase. I love that.
What an apt description.
Yeah, it'd be fitting to see him get removed from the game via a runaway hot air balloon. Even with her long toes, Dee wasn't able to put her best foot forward in the challenge. Oh, bravo. When Tiffany started expressing her anger, she sounded like Grover from the Muppets. Jonathan has no brain. I guess we're still in Oz, and he's the Scarecrow. Aubrey forgot to play her idol. She misplaced her car keys, too. Jonathan's immature argument style sounds like, I know you are, but what am I? Coach's crocodile tears were a crock of something else. What a difference a day made. Ozzy's now a big fan of Exile Island. Yeah, it saved his butt, didn't it? Paragon of virtue, Coach's rules don't apply to him. Who'd have thunk it? From certain angles, Rizzo's mouth and smile look exactly like the Joker's from Batman. Oh, he does have that big curve, doesn't he? I wrote a haiku for this feedback. Coach Wade writes haiku. Dingbat music plays loudly. Coach Koo is cuckoo. Nice. Like Prince Harry, Rizzo's not a fan of the spare.
Of being the spare.
Yeah, being the spare. Stephanie can tell you that a watched pot never boils. Nothing.
Never falls.
Oh, falls. I just translated that in my mind. Thank you.
Yes, you did.
Just do that again. Stephanie can tell you that a watched pot never falls. Nothing says Chinese takeout like brownies. That got everybody going this week.
Yeah.
With the hygiene challenges they face, I'm surprised Stephanie turned down a free shower. Early in the challenge, I feared Joe would roll the boulder over his team and get some of them medevaced. It did come close to that, didn't it? I think it looked like it was going to hit Emily at one point. Ozzy won the boom mic challenge. If he loses the season, he could join the crew and swim the reefs in his free time. Note to Devons, we're running out of time isn't a helpful direction in a challenge. Ozzy said his win woke up the beast. Is it a sloth? He still looks half asleep to me. Coach is back in full Dragon Slayer mode, like every other Coach episode ever. Teen Stephanie was lucky that Suri wasn't her mom. Suri didn't buy that story at all. Coach thinks Christian is squirrely. He's definitely starting to look like one. Emily threw D under the bus. Did she take over Camilla's route? That's good. Nice reference. Coach acts like the capo de capo. He'll have to settle for being the GOAT of goats. Go to goats. That's great. I really like that. Jeff, I don't think the Guinness Book cares about having the most people at one tribal. Only Coach would tell a middle player not to tell any middle players. Suri threw cold water on Joe's firehouse solution. Nothing can blow up a Coach plan like Coach being Coach. At Tribal, when Rizzo said, wee, my brain filled in all the way home. Dee likes whispering. She should become a librarian. Next time Coach Chi is back, one side will take power. Joe says they're snakes, and another twist has double consequences. Is the next challenge sponsored by Double Mint Gum? Anyway, that's it for me for now. Thanks, Joanne and Stacy, for all you do. I can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. Stay safe, everybody. Thanks, Josh. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Justin.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy and all the Survivor Superfans. It's Justin from Michigan. This episode, it finally felt like the game was in the hands of the fans, at least from my perspective. Everything that I've been clamoring for this merge and for this season happened. We get a schoolyard pick, even though we didn't get to see it. I'm hoping it's a secret scene to at least show those dynamics. But I love schoolyard picks for tribe makeup and these type of challenges. Mm-hmm. For me, it's just that little extra layer of social dynamics and to kind of get into the head of where people are thinking. We're not breaking them up into teams, which is basically just tribes, and then voting that way. We're breaking them up into teams to get into more manageable numbers and to have something to play for in multiple stages. This is the way to do it. This is perfect. So please, even though this episode wasn't the most exciting, don't let that be results-based oriented. Let's keep these concepts. Okay, Jeff? I love the big tribal council. Like I said, it ended up being a pile-on vote on D, but don't let that distract from the fact that there were so many conversations. There were so many ways this could have went. They could have rallied and got Coach out. I think they just wanted D as the consensus vote that everybody could kind of agree on, other than Tiffany. So, loved the episode. Looking forward to next week. I think the rest of the people in the game, outside of that Power 5 Honest and Integrity lines of Chrissy, Coach, Jonathan, Joe, and Stephanie, I think one of them 5 have to go. I think on paper, Tiffany might feel like a target, Aubrey might feel like a target, but I think Christian, Emily, and Rick are going to want to use them. And then Suri, Rizzo, and Ozzy can strategically choose which side they want to align with. I'm personally hoping they do want to align with those other 5, not the Honest and Integrity 5. So that's how I'm hoping it goes. I'm hoping it's Jonathan, Joe, or Coach. I think Chrissy and Steph are the least threatening players from that 5, and I think they are the most willing to be flexible out of those 5. So I think it's more important to get Coach, Joe, or Jonathan, the ones that are steadfast, locked in to that group. One interesting thing that was kind of a throwaway comment by Aubrey, but I think made a lot of sense, and I think should raise some people's flags, is she said, why is my idol on people's radar so much more than Rizzo and Ozzy's? Like, everybody's saying, I have to flush it, or I'm dead in the water, but nobody's saying that about Rizzo and Ozzy. So that's a good point and might be brought up going forward. If Rizzo tries to play the same way he did in 49, they might, while they have these big numbers, force what they should have done in 49 is force the split vote and force him to play that idol. So that could also be on the table for this week or next week. So looking forward to how it all shakes out. Hopefully, once we get into final 12, hopefully they don't do another split. But I do understand that we're probably going to have at least one more double tribal council. So looking forward to what everyone else has to say.
Excellent. Thanks, Justin. I think the primary difference was that Aubrey had said she was going to play it. She was
they
proclaiming
were
it.
not to do it.
Yeah.
And
Rizzo and Ozzy haven't done that
what
yet.
it should be telling Aubrey is they want to vote her out.
Which she's
That's
known.
why they don't. They don't want her to have it.
Yeah.
So that's the bottom line. When they're ready to get rid of Ozzy and Rizzo and target them, then they want them to play it.
Right.
Get rid of it so they can vote them out. But that should be the message she is receiving, is they want to be able to vote her out.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly that message was sent to Tiffany this week as well.
Yeah. Good deal.
Okay.
Thanks again, Justin. Next up, we got a call from Jade-n-Christine.
Hi, Joanne and Stacey. This is Jade.
And Christine.
From Hawaii.
Aloha.
So we really enjoyed this episode.
Yes, Jaden. I've been thinking about something for 2 seasons.
Tell me.
Rizzo. He just reminds me of Rizzo the Rat from The Muppets. Yes. Okay, so think about it. Not to be mean, but his features, you know, he has little whiskers. Kind of a pointy face.
Yeah.
And Rizzo is very charming.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a side character that becomes a main character.
Ooh, yes.
Right?
Yes, I love that. I mean, I can definitely see that energy in our survivor Rizzo. We kind of thought he might not be a main character in this season, but he's becoming a main character in his alliance with Suri and Ozzy. And I enjoyed watching him and Suri in the power hammock.
Yes, the power
talking
hammock.
about getting rid of Dee. I love that he didn't hesitate. He was like, oh, she told my secret, so we can let her go.
Right.
I love that. Yeah, Dee's vote out was surprising, but I'm fine. I'm not that sad.
Yeah, I would have never guessed it, but I don't guess it very well. Yeah. But speaking of Dee going home, I've seen a lot of stuff online. I've been seeing a lot of things on social media. It's not just her interview. I mean, we used to get the interviews, but now we're getting people commenting on the interviews and speculating, and all of this stuff is coming out that sort of like breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And I think it's really changed the way that people watch the show now. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of podcasts. Players are doing multiple interviews, and then we're seeing it as it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're talking about the pregame. There's like people responding, or there's rumors coming out. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm okay with it, but do you feel like it's less fun?
Yes. It's less
Why?
fun. These extra stories, it's the focus isn't on the game so much anymore. It's more about these people as characters, as individuals that we're gonna go follow them, and instead of let's continue watching the game. Maybe at least wait until it's over to be posting all of the social media stories. But maybe some people like that breaking of the fourth wall. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't hate it. I do like the idea of them being able to take back some control of their narrative, because in the initial seasons of Survivor, they were just victims of the edit, and if the edit made them look good, they were a hero. If it made them look bad, they were a villain, and they can really manipulate their stories. So it's interesting to see them take that back, but I also agree that it's not always enjoyable to just be focused on the drama.
Right.
So I'm curious what Joanne and Stacey, what you all think about it, and whether you like it or not, or how you think social media has changed the game in these last 25 years and how we watch it.
And no matter what, we'll enjoy watching it again Wednesday. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to think.
Thanks, everyone.
I actually, thank you very much. I actually don't read a lot of it. You read the interviews and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you can give me the headlines of it. But, I really don't have time to do that anymore. So I don't worry too much about it. I mean, I hear bits and pieces of this, said this or that you...
Yeah, I couldn't tell exactly what it was that you were referring to.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall.
I think, that's more behind the scenes, I guess, references or stuff like that. But here's the deal with returnee seasons. They tend to be just overcharged with drama. because there's so many people come in with personal expectations, and they're already thinking about how much camera time. Like Christian, we was scheming, how can I be the narrator? That kind of thing, where they're looking to settle scores, and that kind of stuff can make it highly charged. And, Dee's someone who brings drama. She is drama and cultivates it. So there's definitely some circling around her
but
from this
some
week.
People are also burdened with other people's and fans' expectations.
They can be if they choose to take that on.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a lot of weight that's associated with returnee seasons in that regard too. I think that might be what you're picking up on. And it goes all the way back to the first returnee seasons where people get their feelings hurt and there's bad blood. And Dee said in a couple of her interviews that there's definitely drama coming.
Okay.
Yep. Thanks, Jade-n-Christine. Next up, we got a call from Jeremiah.
Now that was one mega vote. Hey everybody, it's Jeremiah here with some feedback, and wow, 14-person vote. That was wild to watch. There certainly is a lot to digest from this episode, especially to try to determine how the rest of the season is going to go. At the moment, you feel like the biggest person to be concerned about would be Tiffany, since she was left out of this. She was the alternative vote. But she's also not that big of a threat anymore now that Dee is gone. Mm-hmm. So maybe she'll be okay, although I might consider her for my vote off for next week. I went into the episode with my list of people I was worried about. The short list was Christian and Dee and a few others. Luckily for me, I decided to stick with my initial thought of Dee. But like you, Stacy, I was concerned there right away that I wasn't going to get that pick. Correct. Some of the things that I took away the most from this episode, I'm with you, Stacy. I'm actually very impressed with Jonathan's 2.0 game. He has come out here with a more cutthroat type play, and I like it. It's funny because he was one of the people I was hoping that I would see something different from, along with Joe and Coach. And Jonathan is the one that seems to me that's playing the most different game. Coach said he was going to, but clearly that is not going to happen. He's already back to his old ways. But all three of those gentlemen are in a decent spot at the moment, provided that will stay. I do think Coach is eventually going to get himself voted out with all of his antics. I would give Joe and Jonathan a better shot at making it further in the game. The other takeaway I had was for my 24-point USB Aubrey. She's had a much better turn in her arc, but then in this episode, the whole thing with the idol did seem kind of flat for me. But then I'm also trying to stay positive because she is in a decent position still, and she's not going to be considered a threat now that she doesn't have the idol. I'm sure that's probably what she was thinking. We'll see how things go for her. Along with Tiffany, I am also still a little concerned about where Christian and Rick's position is in the game. I don't know if it's that great. So I'm still worried about them. But the players I think are in the best position is Sari, Rizzo, and Ozzy. A pairing I don't know if I would have ever predicted. Now, as a giant Sari fan, this makes me very excited for her potential to go far in the game. And one thing that a lot of people aren't tracking is battle between new era and old era right now goes to the old era because we have 8 of the 13 players left are from the old era. Could that mean a Sari win? I hope so. As far as my prediction next week, like I said, Tiffany, Christian, or Rick is probably going to be my vote off for next week. And that's it for me. You all take care. Until next time, this is Jeremiah from Southern California.
Excellent. Thanks, Jeremiah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that the Coach, Joe, Jonathan team, that they think Ozzy's with them too.
Maybe.
So I don't know where that line, and I don't even know if Sari, I think Sari's willing to go wherever she needs to go.
I don't know about Ozzy because of him and Coach hasn't included him or given him a name or anything. He gave Rizzo a name. Or invited Rizzo to be part of the Four Horsemen, rather. So, yeah, I don't know about that. But I feel that apprehension that Jeremiah was talking about for Christian and Devins because that attention that we got about the middle, even though Coach didn't know who the middle was for some reason. Typically oblivious. Anyway, I'm feeling that too.
Well,
So,
at least they still have their fake idol.
hidden at tribal,
Yeah.
that might come into play if they get if they take them to the edge.
Yes, they get
for sure.
jammed up. But
Mhm.
we thought maybe both, people, if they're doing those doubles, I think we mentioned it,
Mhm.
that it could be a double elimination this week. But like we said, we couldn't get confirmation, so we didn't change anything. It's still
Right.
one vote off. But we did think, are they going to get rid of, the two people that lose? But we have no idea.
You don't need a tribal council if it goes that way, though. So I'm thinking that's not how it's going to work. I considered that initially for sure.
Oh, maybe it's that they don't lose. Maybe they vote off in doubles. You have to choose one of the doubles to go home.
Or whoever you choose, their partner goes to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Of course, we don't
Jeremiah
know
always
who
gets us
pairs
thinking.
up together, so
Right.
But,
Well, it would be natural to think about Christian pairing up with Devins.
well, sure, but
Unless they're still trying to
they may
hide it.
deliberately not do that.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't surprise me.
That's a good question to circle back to, the pairs.
Ooh, that would
what
be
pairs
different.
might be.
If you vote this one out, that one goes too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeremiah. Next up, we got a call from Jen.
Hi, everyone. This is Jen in California, and here are my thoughts on Survivor 50, Episode 7. Everyone is all quiet and funky when they come back from their tribal councils. Dee and Jonathan fight, and all hell breaks loose. Coach is declaring war on everyone, and here comes the Dragon Slayer. And nothing says war like a haiku. Or 10. Coach asking Rizzo to sub in for Colby was really very funny. And Emily spilling the tea on Dee was just crazy. Dee's game just unraveled before our eyes, which was absolutely fine with me because I had her going home. If I were a player and had to put my shot in the dark in the bag for the journey, I would have tried to palm my shot in the dark and not drop it in the bag. It probably wouldn't work, but I would have practiced it really quickly to see if there was any way I could pull it off and not put my shot in the dark in the bag. I liked the edit of Stephanie's journey. It summarized her Survivor career very nicely, and that was a classic challenge. And I thought the twist of holding out for an hour while the water drained and the pot broke was an interesting twist on it. I was really happy Ozzy won the immunity challenge because I just like seeing him dominate challenges, and plus he's chasing a record and I'd like to see him break it. Yeah. Watching the winning tribe eat Chinese food was absolutely disgusting. I think Aubrey's excuse of forgetting to play the idol was really weak, but I really didn't understand why she needed to make excuses in the first place. I think she should have been more confident about not playing her idol and not let other people's peer pressure or bullying make her decide to play it. I absolutely loved Coach turning to Devins and saying, "People in the middle know that we're splitting the vote 7-4. I don't know who leaked that, but I'm pissed." And then he tells Stephanie that Christian is the most dangerous person in the game besides Dee, right in front of Devins. It was Rizzo to the rescue, and I gotta say, the kid's growing on me. I loved it when he told Coach, "We slay dragons at Tribal Council. We don't slay dragons at camp." I'm also wondering how many times have we seen the Ozzy eye roll this season? It's so funny. When Ozzy hears that the vote that he thought was decided is suddenly changing, he gets so frustrated. Tribal Council was great, but do you think that the Billie Eilish boomerang idol will be planted again? I hope so, and I think it would be cool if one player who found it had to choose to give it to another player. And Dee seemed like a good sport about being voted off. I got 2 points for that. I stuck with Coach as my USB. I'm enjoying watching him so much. I know I'm maybe in the minority, but I don't care. I knew what I was signing up for when I chose him, and I am loving him this season. He's exactly what I thought I would get, and I'm glad to see the Dragon Slayer emerge fully. So I'm still on the roller coaster, and I'm going to ride it to the end. My son Andrew, who has not watched Survivor much with me in the 40s, is watching with me this season, and he has Rick Devins as his USB. We are enjoying rooting for him, too. That's it for me. My feedback was all over the place just because there was so much to comment on. I didn't even comment on half of it, but I am so looking forward to hearing what the other fans have to say. That's it for me. Till next week.
Excellent.
All right.
Yep.
You go, girl.
Jam-packed, for
That's
sure.
why Coach is who he is.
Mm-hmm.
You, like I said, you either love the antics or
I blame
you
Jen.
don't. You blame Jen. Because you don't know the other people, you're going to blame it on Jen.
Just teasing. Thanks, Jen. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Paul.
Hey, Paul, Louisiana here. Now, Coach says that Colby went out with honor, integrity, and yada, yada, yada. That's all just fancy complimentary words to gloss over the fact that Coach does not play like that. The most apparent thing about him is that anyone who actually plays with Coach ends up thinking that he's a big old buffoon, whereas people who don't actually know him think he's some kind of lovable character, until they actually meet him and have to deal with him one-on-one. But yeah, whatever. So then, Stephanie. Well, you know what? I think by lasting so long in the immunity challenge, she sort of gave away the fact that she most likely won an advantage earlier, and that her being unable to hold up her arm for an hour was just malarkey. But I don't believe for a minute that it was only Suri who doubted her story. I think that our players just naturally expect anyone who leaves camp to come back with something hidden somewhere on their person. But my biggest question this week is why everyone, including Christian and Devins, were so adamant that Aubrey play her idol. Christian and Devin should have just ignored it and worked on blindsiding her so the idol would go back to Christian. I honestly think it would have been fairly easy. Now I'm not sure what Rizzo has learned about playing well-known idols from this scenario. And speaking of Rizzo, I have to say that he's actually growing on me enough to admit that he's doing well out there. I mean, here he is holding his own and even schooling Coach, who he's had a fan crush on since he was a kid. But I have to admit that I am disappointed in our seasoned players for allowing this unknown to keep playing. And the fact that two of my favorite players are hitched to him, well, it doesn't make me feel very good. And is it me or is Joe playing a very under-the-radar game? He was so front and center in his own season, but this time around, well, if it wasn't for Coach, I don't think we would have seen as much of him as we have. And Ozzy, I'm afraid he's just being too much of a follower this season to win. I understand where it's coming from, but yeah, it's good to see him realize that he still has some game left in him. So here's hoping he'll climb out of that backseat of the car he's in with Suri and Rizzo. I still think that Aubrey and Emily are in trouble, as well as Coach. I had Coach to go this episode, and I want to pick him again, but since I thought Dee was reasonably safe for another week, as well as Colby and Camilla and Genevieve, well, I'm probably going to pick Christian to go. Why? Well, I'm not expecting that. I think I'm being blinded by the big personalities here so much that I'm not paying attention to the game. I'm not afraid to admit that I want Christian and Devins to stick around, but that's why I've been choosing so poorly in JSFL. I'm not picking people because of that. So, yeah, I'm going to try riding a new wave here and going against who I actually want to see exit the game. Which means that I'm going to give Coach another few days, even though I desperately want to tick that little box that says vote out. And there you go. I haven't gotten a vote off pick yet, so make sure to take that into consideration before you take what I've said here too seriously. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Take care, everyone. Enjoy. Bye.
Excellent. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, I can see why people are thinking Christian is at risk, like we were talking about.
Well, also wanted to Paul mentioned something.
He included a note in the email when he sent his feedback. Yeah, talking about aspects of the steal a vote.
Yeah, so we went back and pulled it up and read it, and it says it's good till 6 players are left in the game.
Yep.
And so
I think the thing that he mentioned
says, yes, this is what he mentioned. If the player you choose has no vote available, you may choose a different player.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. I don't think she read that out loud or anything. So, but yeah, it does say that, and she has to play it at tribal council when Jeff says it's time to vote.
Yep.
That's when Stephanie would have to play it.
Right. And she has to use that vote.
Huh?
She has to use it.
Oh, she has
in that
to
tribal
use the
council.
Vote in that tribal council.
Yeah. Once she takes it from someone, she has to use it, and it's done. But they'll know, and you'll know who she took it from, I guess. It doesn't say that part of it, but thanks for that extra note there, Paul. You forced us to go back and look at that, and we had missed some details.
Okay. But here's the thing with that, though. They've already, they're ready to vote. Jeff said time to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't get to talk anymore after she takes somebody's vote.
Historically, yeah.
Then they go vote, and they don't have time to go, oh, wait, no.
Right.
That could make a difference if it's done really strategically.
Yeah, if the Honesty Integrity Alliance gets a heads up about something going down, they could flip the script for sure.
You bet.
The catch or the balance, the counteracting balances that Suri knows. So I don't know if she knows all these details, but She knows she has a steal a vote.
Well, she could get it out of Stephanie, I bet, if she worked at it, but she probably, won't try. But
yeah, Stephanie wants to share with her too. So Stephanie was looking forward to working with Sari.
Well, and I would assume she still would like to work with Ozzy as well, and so she's perfect fit in that group. But she could also go with the
I get what we're calling the middle.
Integrity.
Oh yeah, well she's already included there. Yeah. She seemed to get pulled into that at least from our perspective, I guess.
Yeah, I think she's sitting pretty good right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's definitely not at risk. So Sari's got an extra vote, courtesy of Ozzy. Stephanie's got a steal a vote. That would be funny if she stole it from Sari. But
not really.
No, I don't know why you would do it, but it would just be funny, I guess. Anyway, Sari would still have a vote.
Stole her +1.
Yeah, and now Stephanie gets 2.
That would
have to use it in the moment.
Things, but
yeah, and I don't think we're going to see another idol come in while there's 2 still sitting there. Maybe because these aren't full powered idols; they're only to be played by Rizzo for Rizzo, by Ozzy for Ozzy. So. Yeah. I guess from that perspective, we could see a full-powered idol could enter the game.
True.
And we're still yet to see the whole Jimmy Fallon twist advantage, whatever that turns out to be.
And what's the other Mr. Beast?
Yep, those 2 are still on the horizon.
So, and they do have to have some more. Well, I guess they don't have to. They can adapt around it, but I would assume there will be at least some double votes.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, but they usually go into the finale with
6.
What?
Used to be 5, but then it became 6.
Oh, okay. It's harder to score when that happens, but
yeah.
Okay. And but right now, if they don't have it, they'll go in with like 8, I think.
Yeah.
So, but they might have a way around that, and they might want a bigger jury, and obviously they got a bigger jury.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't even really 100% know if it's final 2 or 3, do we?
No.
Okay, so we don't know what's ahead.
Could be final 4.
Did the votes leave fire making in or not? Or
we don't know.
We know? Okay.
We don't know.
So those are all the things we don't know. So a lot of variables ahead.
Yeah. Well, you got a variable coming up this week. Who do you think's going to go? Are they going to take the easy vote again and take Tiffany out? They already let her know. Usually once they start coming your way.
I just want to put Coke.
Well, yeah.
Every week.
There's what you want, and then there's what you think might happen.
Yeah.
So Coach is on the board because people are getting fed up with him. Tiffany's on the board because that's easy.
Aubrey's on the board because now they have a chance to get her out.
Yep.
And a lot of people just seem to not want to play with her.
Christian's on the board from the Integrity Alliance perspective, at least from Coach, because he was the most dangerous after D, and they got D off. So,
and even though I said I thought Stephanie's sitting in a pretty good place right now, there's always the possibility someone will go, I'm tired of her winning challenges, and I can't beat her in future challenges. Let's get rid of her now.
Yeah.
So,
possibly.
That could happen. I don't know why no one's wanted to get rid of Emily since she can't stop telling things.
Doesn't seem to be adding a lot of value. Yeah.
But whatever. And I never thought Chrissy would make it this far. But if she's in with Coach, then maybe. I'm just not sure exactly where those lines are drawn and who Coach is referring to as the middle people, because obviously he doesn't know either.
Yeah.
So,
need someone to explain it to him.
Yeah, because Christian's won. But anyway, that will become apparent, I guess, as the episodes keep coming.
Yep, I guess I'm leaning towards Tiffany just because it's easy, and easy is safe, and then there's no arguing when you get back, and so.
Well, I'm pretty sure Jonathan would like to lean that way.
That twist is going to really mess this up. That's what I'm
whatever
it is
too.
Is going to make this more difficult than we're thinking.
Have the choices.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's going to be somebody more random.
Yeah.
Because.
Or somebody's. Yes.
Yeah. Or at least that's my suspicion. It's going to be somebody more random.
It should be fun. Well, we want to say a big thank you to everybody who took the time to send in your feedback, share your thoughts and predictions with us this week. We thoroughly enjoyed it. We loved hearing what you thought about the episode and the season as it continues. We also want to say a big thank you to Johnny for your donation. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you, sir.
And if you're playing in JSFL, like we said, remember to make your picks for one person voted out and 4 people who you think will still be in the game at the end of the episode.
It's going to be challenging.
And hopefully no more medicals. We don't want any more.
No. We'll be back on Wednesday with a recap.
All right. Everybody have a good one.